To my horror, Trixie and the makeup girls were ganging up on me. I don't know how to dance.
Can you bounce?
I bounced.
Can you shake?
I shook my hips.
You can dance. After today's shoot, we will go for drinks and dancing.
I wasn't sure this was true, but having no excuse, I agreed.
Okay, so today's shoot is for the fall gala. It's going to be focused on debuting you to the who's who of what's what.
What? Who?
Exactly.
Trixie was called away, leaving me to finish my dress and makeup session with the rest of the team. They were great, but they were always so hurried and had no time to talk. I wished to make friends, but people were so focused on their jobs.
You ready?
Yes, Alvin. As usual, the short man dressed dapper. Vest, suspenders, shiny shoes. I thought it was kind of cute that his chin, nose and ears looked a little pointy.
Good. Now today I'm doing some close-ups. Sit here, pose like so.
He showed me his example of resting my chin on my laced fingers.
Good, good. Now, think of your happiest memory.
Breakfast with Reed was nice.
Okay. Think of your first kiss.
Reed's lips on mine. It had only been in my dream, but it was realistic. I blushed.
Love it. Perfect. I want you to now think of happy ever after.
I tried, and an image I had dared not think before came so clearly in my mind. Reed loving me for real. My soul craved him so. The longer I was away, the harder it was getting. Instead of the smile I'm sure Alvin was hoping for, tears welled up and fell down my cheeks. The clicking stopped after a moment.
Ari?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I wiped my tears, and the makeup team came running to fix me up.
What is it?
He asked kindly. It's nothing. But he stood there waiting. My happy ever after will never happen, that's all. Trixie came over with a shot glass of juice. I drank it gratefully, and my tears stopped. I fell for a guy who barely saw me, I explained. He was nice, though. He's not for me. I began to see an image of my happy ever after as me enjoying my own life. No Reed, no pack, just me.
I'll change my approach. I'm looking for big, bright smiles, with teeth. And girl, you're better off without him.
Alvin repositioned himself.
Okay, think of puppies.
This was too funny. Alvin would have no idea that puppies in the world I came from were werewolf cubs. It was so off base that it got my funny bone.
Wonderful.
The day went on like that. I wasn't even tired when Trixie and some of the team got me in some glittery get-up and strappy high heels. In these heels, I'm practically 6 feet.
Lucky you.
Trixie, who was just 5 feet with heels, looked up at me in envy.
I need 3 inches just to be average height. Anyways, let's go have some fun.
It was an interesting thing. Every time I was out on a shoot, or out in general with Trixie, it was so easy to think screw Reed and the pack. I felt emboldened and amazing. When I was alone, I sank into the I miss him nonsense. Why should I miss Reed? I liked him, sure. But only because he was nice to me, right? It wasn't like anyone else ever talked to me. I mean, if any other guy spoke to me and was genuinely nice, I'd probably like him too. Who needed Reed? The pack could have their fancy new alpha. Was he really all that nice? He threw me out of the only home I knew and tossed money at me to go away. He said it was for protection, but really, it was that I creeped them out too much, wasn't it? Dancing was incredible. I didn't know I could have so much fun. I was free to love my life. After a long while of fast beats, The DJ put on some lo-fi. I was not about to slow dance with some random guy like the other girls seemed to be able to, so when one started making his way to me, I turned and left the building. I needed fresh air anyway. I took a deep breath as I looked up at the stars. The moon would be out soon. I could feel it.
Hi.
I turned. It was that guy. He had followed me. This made me uncomfortable. I gave him an awkward smile and grabbed the phone out of my pocket. Hello. I pretended that I was answering a call, but he didn't buy it. Without any warning, he ran towards me. I tried to run away, but the stupid heels and the tight skirt tripped me up. The guy crashed into me, pinning me to the hard asphalt, forcing me to look up at him.
You really are pretty.
Get off! My arms were under his knees and his weight was crushing me.
Just smile for me.
I got goosebumps. I wanted to vomit. He pulled out something shiny from his pocket. What was that? Pliers. No!
Yeah, I see them.
I tried to turn away, but he held my face in place with a hard grip. I started kicking and managed to knee his back. This only made him annoyed. He dug his fingers into my cheeks in response, forcing my lips apart.
I heard you were a halfling. Your canines are so underdeveloped for a wolf. It's cute, really. I don't want to hurt you. I just want your teeth.
His face was contorted in a sort of angry panic. He was in a hurry, but wasn't going to leave without what he came for. Who was this guy? Why was he after me?
You don't understand. Your teeth. It'll be worth so much. The teeth of the Moonchild. Before she even knew her powers. Ha ha ha.
He laughed gleefully. It looked horrifying. I'd never seen an insane person so up close before. I couldn't look away.
Once you have your powers, well, I'm sure your teeth will grow back.
What the hell was this guy talking about? I tried to scream, but he covered my mouth.
Now stay quiet.
How the hell could I? I couldn't move. I could barely breathe with this guy on top of me. I was completely helpless. If only I had my wolf. The pliers grabbed onto my tooth.
Shh, shh, shh. Just let me do this quickly. I don't want to hurt you.
A growl made the guy stop. The pliers were released. I saw a shape out of the corner of my eyes, but I couldn't tell what it was. The guy squinted.
What? Not a word. But there are no more wolves in Nova Scotia.
Hands off the merchandise.
The guy went flying off of me as a knee crashed into his jaw. Trixie stepped over me and grabbed the guy by his hair. I was stunned. I dragged in some air and rolled to my side. My ears were keening with the blood rushing back to my limbs. I couldn't make sense of my surroundings, but it looked like Trixie was dragging the guy away. She was really strong for a tiny girl.
No sampling before the gala.
But the price is too high.
Should I call Alvin?
No.
No?
No. Sorry.
He dropped the pliers, which came sliding back on the asphalt towards me.
Nighty-night.
Trixie blew him a kiss and let him go.
You marked me.
It'll fade. I'll do worse if you come around again.
The man went running. Did the guy really complain about Trixie leaving a mark on him? Like what? A scratch? Here I was, bruised on my arms and face, and I was sure I had a nasty bump on my head. Ooh, and my ankles were not happy. I shook while trying to stand up. The spit in my mouth tasted metallic, a mix of blood and the aftertaste of pliers. What just happened? I stared at the pliers at my feet. I couldn't help the goosebumps as the panic turned to disgust. Trixie kicked the pliers away as she came to my side.
Let me see.
She said. I opened my mouth.
Good. No missing teeth. Your cheeks look red. Might bruise.
She tisked. She called for a car, then called Alvin.
Alvin, we had an early visitor. No damage. Sending her home now. Oh, I marked him. If he comes back, he'll regret it.
The company car came around the corner. It had been parked in the front parking lot, so I didn't have to wait. Trixie was still on the phone when she ushered me in.
Straight to her apartment.
Trixie said nothing else and closed the door. The driver pulled away, and I watched Trixie hang up and walk back to the building. I sat there shaking. The driver didn't ask if I needed anything. He just drove.
Which mark did you leave him? I asked. I heard a car door slam.
Okay, she's on her way. Yeah, I marked him with a proximity kiss. It'll wear off by the gala. Hopefully he'll come back to make a legitimate bid.
Perhaps this was a good thing. No one else would dare try and cut the line again. Do you think the girl suspects?
Oh, Alvin, please. That girl is so clueless, I don't think any potions were necessary for her to be made compliant.
Still, best be under our full control. As long as she suspects nothing, we continue as planned. We have only 1 week until the gala. Hanging up the phone, I looked over my wall of pictures. I had made a mosaic of sorts, each picture a close-up of a feature rather than Ari's full face. I grinned as I thought about how much a single tear could make me.
Trixie had shuffled me into the car so fast I didn't have time to process what was happening. Now I was alone. The anxiety started to shake my nerves. The car had some drinks. There was the usual juice, but I didn't want that right now. There was some fancy water in blue glass. I took that and sipped it. It was soothing, and after a few swallows, the blood taste was cleansed out of my mouth. The driver got me home within a half hour. "Thank you," I told the driver as I got out. He waited to watch me enter the building. Actually, he was still there watching me as I waited for my elevator. Well, I suppose that was chivalrous of him. I was just glad I wasn't living in the sketchy apartment where there was no security. I got off the elevator on my floor and felt a presence. I was too scared to turn around and quickly walk to my door. It auto-locked behind me as soon as I was inside. My heart was pounding again, hyper-alert. I calmed myself. It was probably just another tenant. There were 3 other apartments on this floor, and they all belonged to someone from the company. I was safe here. I'm safe. I'm okay. Just breathe. I yanked off the damn strappy heels. They were cute, as Trixie would say, but extremely uncomfortable. Especially now my ankles were swelling up. It felt like a light sprain. If I had worn tennis shoes, I would have been able to outrun that creep. I went straight to the shower and tried to wash off the feeling of fear and helplessness. As the hot water caressed my skin, I finally stopped shaking. My mind replayed the situation for analysis. The creep wanted my teeth. How did he know I was half werewolf? If Reed were there with me, the guy wouldn't dare get close to me. Well, if any werewolf had been there, really. But I wished Reed had been there to save me. Trixie was. How she saved me, I had no idea. I was confused at the things she said. Merchandise? Was she talking about the dress? Something wasn't adding up, and I felt alone. I desperately wanted to be held. Even though I knew I was being kicked out, when Reed held me, I felt like the world just fell away. "Reed," I sighed, his name spoken out loud for the first time in weeks. I hoped invoking his name would comfort me, but the feeling that my sense of safety was violated wasn't going away. I scrubbed my body down with soap, noticing the bruises on my arms and scrapes on my knees. In the mirror, I could make out fingerprints where the guy had grabbed my face. No matter. Layla had done worse to me over the years. I refused to let this shake me. This was life. People didn't like halflings. I shouldn't have let my guard down. As I got out of the shower room in my towel, I smelled a light scent of waterfall. I walked over to the hoodie. I sniffed it, but sadly the scent was all but faded. No, the scent was stronger coming from behind me. I turned around and found myself face to face with Reed. The large wolf was practically transparent, but I knew this shape. I would recognize him anywhere. "Why are you a wolf?" Or wolf ghost. This wasn't completely Reed, just his spirit wolf. I walked over to the bed where he was standing on top of. He brought his muzzle to my cheek and gave it a lick. It felt more like a memory of a touch, but I could feel it healing me. "Thank you." I could touch him, feel his fur, but again, it was like a memory, a phantom sensation. "Where's Reed?"
"With Pack, I protect you."
I took that in. So the wolf came to protect me. It was his instinct too. "Was that you at the parking lot?"
"Protect you. I stay with you."
"Thank you. But you don't have to—"
"I stay with you."
The wolf licked my other cheek. I didn't argue. I got my pajamas on and turned off the lights. The wolf faintly glowed with energy, pure soul. I had no idea how Reed was able to separate his wolf from himself, and while I worried about Reed himself, I felt so secure with part of him here with me. I didn't want to be dependent on anyone but for tonight. Just tonight. I was glad to have a giant wolf curled up on the bed beside me,